My name is Helen Nkalangango, Executive Director of Safina Women's Association. Now we have changed the name to be SAWA Wanawake Tanzania. Our organization has started in 1996 and registered officially in 1998 under the Ministry of Home Affairs. The goals of our organization is to make sure that children and women are safe and protected. By doing that, we've been implementing a lot of projects, including especially in improving the learning and teaching environment by building hostels, teachers' house, and the teaching and learning materials to children so that they can get equity education. Our organization has no funds. We are working together with different partners, especially CHILDFUND Korea, who is our main partner, and the Cotswold, who are in USA, Interhand, who are also in one family who are in USA, and Lena. We are working together also with the different networks such as Tanzanian Education Network, Regional Education and Learning Initiative, Haki Elimu, TechDen, and so forth. By doing that, we are working collaboratively with the government, Mvomero District, Morogoro Municipal, and Mufindi District. In making sure we implement our project well, we work also collaboratively, especially with the community, where we join the effort to implement our project, especially central government, local authority government, and the community. By doing that, we make sure that by training the community in child protection and child rights, and also we train teachers and the teachers of primary school and secondary school, especially in child protection and the good governance for the school and the community. We are grateful to the government of Tanzania, especially Ministry of Home Affairs, and also the central government, the Mvomero District, Morogoro Municipal, and Mufindi District for their effort of making sure that we implement our project and reach to our goals. We also thank our workers who are giving their efforts and their extra time in making sure that we do our work at a time.
Yeah, my name is Everest Mumburi. I've been working with SAWA Wanawake Tanzania over the past 6 years as a program coordinator. And the SAWA Wanawake Tanzania has been implementing several programs, community-based programs. We have been implementing inclusive education program, and under this program we have a model school at Lena Pre and Primary School, which implements an inclusive education program, and this is situated within Morogoro municipality. But apart from this program, we have also been implementing several programs in Mvomero District Council. One of the programs that we've been implementing in Mvomero is Tuwalinde Watoto program. This program has 2 phases. The first phase started in 2018, and the second one just started in 2020. The phase 1 of Tuwalinde Watoto project, which is both programs are actually funded by CHILDFUND Korea, and phase 1 is implemented in Doma village, Msongozi, Mtipule and Matale. And the program is actually focused on 3 sectors. The first sector is on early childhood development, and the early childhood development has two subsectors. The first subsector is about home-based, community-based services, and this is mainly about visiting the households and providing education on early childhood development. Under this subsector, we actually trained about 18 village volunteer counselors. These are just normal community members who were recruited in the communities and trained on the 5 areas of nurturing care framework. And the main purpose is to go to the family level and train the families on early child stimulation, health, and responsive caregiving, opportunities for early learning, etc. So under this sector, I must say that we are somehow very successful, because almost 1,503 households have been visited by the volunteers, and about 238 children have been reached. So we can say the 1,503 households have received this knowledge. And during the evaluation, we found that they have made significant progress in terms of early childhood stimulation, health, and opportunities for early learning for their children.
My name is Janet Omari. I'm from Lusanga village. I'm thankful to SAWA organization for training us on early stimulation. They've been training me in how to play with the child when she cries, and now here is my playing materials which I've been making to play with my child. Now my child is well stimulated, and I advise to the other parents who are not using this training, maybe it's their first time to use, so they can adapt this training, because it is good, and I can see how my child is well developed in it. My name is Mtipule. I'm from Mtipule Masai village. I'm thankful to SAWA organization for teaching us on how to raise our children in early stimulation. I've been able to make small local materials. By using local materials, I've been making the small I have designed a small car for my child to play with. I have one child who now is in ECD at Mtipule. I used 2 days to make a local play material, local play material, cow and goat. Now my child, when he go to school, he is now ready to go to school. His mind now is sharp, and he can also, when he saw me to make it play material for him, now he also developed his mind, and he can make his own. He tried to make his own local play material. This model is new, and the children also can make. Have adapted it to and how to make local play material. Their mind are well organized. When they go to school, they manage to learn at school, and when they come back at home, they also manage to play and learn at the same time. So it is easy for them to learn. I encourage also men involvement in playing with their children, because now in our community, Men, it is hard for men to get time to play with their children. I encourage my fellow men to adapt this model, so then they can make a stimulation to their children. Set time to play with my child, even if I'm busy. The wife has the time with the children, but myself, I can set time to play with the children. My name is Nema Lugula. I have a child of 1 year and 9 months, and I'm thankful to SAWA for the training us on how to play with the children. Now I'm able to play with my children. I used to work with her outside and show her the animals and how they sound, like goat, how it sounds, cows, how it sounds. Now he can manage to know this sound, it belongs to this type of animals. My name is Katarina. My children are twins. I have 1 and 4 months. I've managed to adapt the early stimulation training from SAWA. Now I have been able to make these local materials my children can play with when I'm working at home.
The second subsector of this program is community-based ECD services. So, and under this subsector, almost 6 ECD centers have been constructed, and about 166 children have been enrolled under these ECD centers, and almost all children who have been enrolled in these ECD centers are actually proceeding well in terms of school readiness, and in following up these children in pre-primary schools, we found that actually their progress has improved very well in terms of interaction of the children with others and so forth. And also 161 children were enrolled in pre-primary, which is also part of the community-based ECD services. And these were provided in 3 primary schools that we improved. So a total of 322 children are now. We can be proud that these are in the ECD centers and pre-primary. So for us, we see it as a big progress in this area. But apart from this one of the ECD services, we have actually worked to improve a learning environment for primary schools. We have improved a learning environment for 4 primary schools, which are Matale Primary School, Msongozi Primary School, Mtipule Primary School, and Kisanga, which is a satellite school to Matale. And under this program, almost we have provided 28 new classrooms, and with full furnishing of desks, in which we provided almost 500 desks to these schools, and 2 boreholes, one in Msongozi and another one in Mtipule Primary School. So this is a kind of a comprehensive program, because we wanted to make sure that when children are in the school, they get an attractive learning environment, but also ensure that they get clean water, which is a critical component in making sure that the toilets in the schools are all the time sanitary. We have also improved the toilets, which we found was a big challenge, especially to girls. which were defaulting school, especially when they were in menstrual period, because the toilets were quite insanitary. But one of the things that we did was to improve the toilets, to make sure that the sanitation is improved. So in talking to some of these girls right now, they say they're quite comfortable because they are now attending school smoothly. They don't have any more challenge in terms of attending school, especially when they are in the menstrual period, because the toilets are supportive to their health. And this has also brought a very big impact in terms of enrollment of children, because the enrollment has increased from an average of 860 children when we started to engage this school to 1,400 children in all the schools that we have supported. And this is actually a big progress now. We see it as a big progress.
Kwa majina anaitwa Mwalimu Agustino.
My name is Agustino Mafuru Nyanguri. I'm the assistant head teacher at Matale Primary School. I've been working here now, it is 13 years old. The school of Matale was very old. The classroom was old. Children were sitting down and there was no desks. And we have only 4 classrooms. 2 classrooms down there, very old, and the other 2 at the upper there for the class 1 and 2. But the good news in 2018, the good news in 2018, we have got this help from SAWA Tanzania. They've come and with their CHILDFUND Korea to build the classrooms and the teachers' house and the toilets. From there, children have started to be enrolled in this school. We have a lot of children to be enrolled because of the good classroom and the teaching and learning materials. And the teachers now, we are happy because we have teachers quota, 2 in 1, 2 houses, 2 in 1. So compared to before, whereby teachers were not living here, we were living very far from here. Children were not coming to school because there was no good classrooms and good environment and infrastructures for the children, like toilets. But now, before there was children were not success. There was no children who were passed to join secondary school. When I joined here, there was only 3 children were passed to join secondary school. But after the SAWA Tanzania to build those classrooms, children started to pass, and compared to before, the percentage now, for example, last year, the children, 40 children out of 75, they passed to join secondary school. This is because of SAWA and the CHILDFUND Korea, and we are thankful for them. Also, the government has recognized the work of SAWA. Now, before there was no enough teachers, but now they have been allocating teachers, and we have also a female teacher who can also work to help those children, especially in their health period. So we are thankful to SAWA and CHILDFUND Korea for their helpful support, and we are asking them to keep helping us, especially to have water for the sanitary needs in our school. My name is Castor Majoro. I'm standard 7 at Matale Primary School. I'm thankful to SAWA for building us good classrooms. Before we have no classroom, we are sitting down, and most of the children were not coming to school. now we have good classes and the toilets. We can go and have do our sanitary wash. We compared to before where we didn't have. Before there was no enough toilet. There was only one toilet whereby many children can go to have. There was no access to have sanitary wash at a time. By having good classrooms, now we have good handwriting, and also for our parents are already also motivated to contribute for the feeding program, because before there was no feeding program. Parents were not motivated because they can't see, there were no good classrooms. But now parents, they can organize themselves, they can contribute to have a feeding program at school, and the children can happy to come and continue with their studies. And also before there was no good pass rate, but now the pass rate has raised compared to before, due to the good classrooms and enough teacher in our school, because before there was no enough teachers. In order to get water, we go very far, whereby on the way it is dangerous for us, and sometimes we get late to come back to continue with our studies. So we are asking SAWA if there is any possibility to help us in having water in our school, which will help us to use for sanitary and domestic and for the cleanliness. And my name is Flora Baraka. I'm studying at Matale, standard 6. I'm thankful to SAWA Wanawake Tanzania, director of SAWA Wanawake Tanzania, for helping us in building good classrooms and the toilets, and also for building teachers' house, whereby now we are having enough teachers, especially female teacher, whereby before we didn't have. Now we are having them here, and we are happy. We are happy, and for the good classrooms and the toilets, we are happy now we can use toilets, whereby before we didn't have enough toilets, and now we have a good toilet, and they are enough to use for the sanitary uses.
Naitwa Mwalimu Venance
Mambo. The appointed teacher to this ECD center at Njia Panda. I'm thankful to SAWA Wanawake Tanzania and the CHILDFUND Korea for supporting us to build this ECD center so as to help children here. This center is at the middle of two villages. This Mtipule village, and the other side of the road, Mkata village. These two villages are depending here are depending to their children to learn here at the ECD, because it's the middle of the two villages. And this Mtipule ECD center is the center is the center of the is the satellite school for the Mtipule Primary School, which is located almost more than 4 kilometers from here. Young children are fed to go to the Mtipule Primary School, which is very far, and at the middle, when they go, there's a place where there's no habitant, there's no people who are living there, there's no farms. It is like a forest. Children cannot pass there. It is very dangerous. And this area, this Mtipule, is also nearby Mikumi National Park, whereby there's dangerous animals. So children cannot pass there. There's dangerous animals like elephant, and also pastoral society can raise their animal there. So it is dangerous for young children to go to the Mtipule Primary School to study. So when SAWA came, they saw these challenges, then they started to build this building which you are seeing here. And also we have children. After I have been appointed to lead this center, before the children were not coming. Many children were not coming to school because there was no professional teacher. But after being appointed to lead this center, children, the number of children have been raised from 45 to 57. now we have ECD children and the standard 1 children. And also there's these children from nearby our village who are studying here also. So we are asking. I'm thankful to the local leaders of this village and the school committee, whereby we have been working together since I've been here. So then they have started to engage feeding program so then children, when they come to school, they can learn and have food when they are at school. We have managed to build the local kitchen here, and the community have provided iron sheet so that we can have feeding program every day when children are at school. Also, the villagers and the community leaders have planned to add more classroom each year, so that when children from standard 1 they continue with the standard 2 here, so that they can avoid to go that far in a dangerous area to go to Mtipule. And the problem of this animal, the dangerous animal like elephant, is because the Mikumi National Park is very near to Mtipule, almost 13 kilometers from here. So we are asking SAWA and the CHILDFUND Korea if there is a possibility, as they have done it before, so that they can help us also this time to add another classroom, so that our children can learn from here. Young children can learn from here because they are still young and they cannot manage to go that far to Mtipule Primary School, so that our school can be complete as a primary school as Mtipule.
Another area of challenge was, which we found in these schools, was lack of sufficient teachers in the schools. Like when we went to Matale, completely there was no female teacher. And when we tried to talk to the teachers, they said the problem was lack of staff houses. So one of the areas that we hardly work, it was to make sure that we provided the teachers' houses. And we provided 2 in 1 house at Msongozi Primary School, and two houses at Matale Primary School. And right now, at Matale, we have 2 female teachers. And this has been possible because the houses are very good now. Teachers are comfortable in working, staying there. So the problem of shortage of teachers has reduced significantly. But another challenge that was facing the teacher was because they were staying far from the schools. They used to get schools very late. So having constructed the houses at the schools and provided good toilets in the houses, teachers are now living in the houses, and they're spending almost 2 to 5 minutes in getting into the classrooms. So this has actually reduced the time that was being wastage in terms of when teachers were walking long distance from where they were used to stay before. So this is actually a great progress. And children have actually confirmed that teachers are now getting to classrooms in time, and they have enough time in teaching the children, as they don't have more stress in terms of thinking about walking back to home, which were far from before we provided the houses.
Naitwa Adelina Kiobia.
My name is Adelina Kiobia. I'm a female teacher at Matale Primary School. I've been appointed here since last year on March, and since I've been joining here, I find that the building is good. There's a light, and I have enough time to prepare lessons. The toilets are good, and also the classrooms also are good. I find myself that I have time to to work with children, especially girl children. When they are in menstruation period, they can freely talk to me, and they are asking me if they don't feel well. I can assist them and let them go to rest at home. By doing this, before there was girls children, they were fearing to ask male teachers. They were not free to ask male teachers. Children are free sharing how they feel, and I can assist them. Especially, I can also teach them on healthy reproductive system, and I find that it is good for me to be here, and I ask also the other female teacher to come and see them by themselves how these buildings are good, and they can see by themselves.
In addition to this, I should say before we implement this program, we conducted what we called focused assessment, project focused assessment. And when we went to Doma Secondary School, one of the schools that our interventions focused, we found a lot of challenges, especially to girls in this school. Most of them were renting at Doma Center, and this is a center where there is a lot of activities that go around the area, and lots of trucks normally park temporarily, stop there on their way to Zambia and other parts of the country. So there's a lot of people around there. So these children, the girls who were renting at this area were in a very high risk. Most of them were ending up getting pregnancies, child pregnancies, and this is because they were living in unsafe houses in the center, and the school had no dormitory, so actually there was no express supervision of the girls who were living at the center, so they were exposed in a very high risk of getting pregnancies, contracting HIV/AIDS, and so forth. So one of the interventions we decided to do at Doma was to make sure that we built a dormitory in the school. And this was part of the Tuwalinda Watoto program, and we have managed to build a dormitory that has a capacity of 64 girls. But due to high demand and increased awareness of parents, the number of girls who are now accommodated at Doma is more than 100. And this is because every parent would now want his child to go to get a space at the dormitory. But in talking to the headmaster, he said almost the girls are sharing the beds now. Instead of one bed, one girl, almost it's two girls, one bed now. And this is due to the pressure, the demand from the parents and the children themselves.
Kwa majina naitwa Mwalimu Edward.
My name is Edward Mlambo, the head teacher of Doma Secondary. I've been working here now, it is 5 years. Before, in our school, we had a scarcity, lack of water. Before, children, especially girls, were going very far from 5 to 6 kilometers daily to fetch water. This situation would have made girls to drop, some children to drop out, especially girls. Other girls get pregnant because when they go that far, they can find an assistant from border guys, so that they can help them, and from there, as a result, they get pregnant. Others they get drop out due to that problem. But after SAWA building this water well in our school, now children are coming to school. There's no absentees. There's no also dropout. Also, after building the hostel, also there's no more after having this hostel building by CHILDFUND Korea and SAWA, there's no more pregnancy, there's no more dropout. For the past 3 years, and also the performance has raised compared to before. Now children have enough time to study. There's water and there's hostel. In this hostel they built this hostel purposely for 64 children, but now the demand is big, and now the hostel is keeping more than 100 children, and we are still in need. Outside there's also they can have 150 to 200 children who are in need of hostel. As a result, there's a lot of children, children who have joined the Doma secondary due to the presence of this hostel. And also for the improvement of this learning environment, there's another CBO, community-based organizations, for example, Comfort, who are supporting children at the hostel with sanitary pads, feeding fee, and they are supporting more than almost 31 children who are living in hostel, and they can provide them with the 200,000 feeding program per year. This is a result of after building this hostel built by CHILDFUND Korea and SAWA organization. Also, there is TANAPA. After seeing the hostel has built, they are in plan. It is a long plan, but now they want to build another hostel like this built by SAWA. So the government of Tanzania and President's office, they have set a plan 2021-2022, 80 million for building hostel as a model compared to this one built by SAWA. This is a big result. Other CBO has joined the effort. Also, SAWA have built the kitchen, whereby before we didn't have the kitchen, and the cook, now they can prepare food in a safe environment compared to before, whereby they were cooking on the outside in the open area. There is also this Sauti Yangu project, whereby children have been capacitated by knowing their rights and the child protection issues. Also the community they have learned a lot. Now there's no more child abuse cases, and they have been reduced, and the children are now protected. They feel free, they feel protected, and there's no more dangerous situation for the children. This is what I can say for the success from SAWA Wanawake Tanzania at Doma.
Kwa majina naitwa Hilda Kilenga.
My name is Hilda Kilenga.
Wa shule
a female teacher at Doma Secondary School. First of all, we want to thank SAWA and CHILDFUND Korea for facilitating us with permanent borehole. This borehole has helped the Doma Secondary School, especially at dormitory, whereby children can use water all the in daily use. This presence of hostel, this presence of borehole at Doma, it's the first time. Since they've been, after building the Doma Secondary, there was no water. There's no water facilities. But this is SAWA and CHILDFUND Korea. After building this borehole, they helped also building the hostel. And after building the hostel, and girls' children can use water for sanitary use with no problem. Also, secondly, the presence of hostel has helped the girls' children in a long walking distance, where before they were renting at the street where there's no protection, and it causes early pregnancy and a lot of dropout. Now, after presence of hostel, children are in safe environment. They can have enough time to learn, whereby before they couldn't have this time to learn by themselves to get prepared for the lessons. Also, for the presence of borehole, before children were going very far to take water, which will make them come late for the morning session, because they have to fetch water for the daily use. And also the presence of Sauti Yangu, it made children to have enough life skill in their life to know their rights and to defend themselves and to teach their fellow children. Also, the community themselves, they've learned a lot from Sauti Yangu, because those children, they can also bring their knowledge, the knowledge they get from Sauti Yangu to teach them to teach their parents and the community about their child rights and child protection, and how to defend themselves when they get any. In addition to that, the presence of girls' hostel is a good thing, but also there's boys who are also learning in a difficult environment. So we're asking SAWA if there is any possibility they can add for us a boys hostel, so that they can have time to learn like girls.
Kwa jina naitwa Deborah
My name
Tumsifu
is
Petro.
Noela Tumsifu
Natokea
Petro.
Msongozi.
I'm from Songozi. I'm 16 years old.
Nasoma kidato cha kwanza.
I'm Form 1.
Katika changamoto zinazo
I live in a hostel at Doma. Before joining the hostel at the street, at the community where I live, there's a lot of temptation for the young children, and my parents are in poor situation, and at home there is no light. There's a lot of temptation which can destroy my dream. But after joining the hostel is helping me. There's no temptation. I can find enough time to learn, and I believe that I can reach my dreams.
Kwa majina naitwa Maria.
My name is Maria Omari Sambala. I'm
18
18 years old. I'm Form 4 at Doma Secondary School. Before joining this school, there was at home at the community where I live, there is a lot of male temptation, which they can make me not to continue with my study to reach my dreams. My parents, after seeing that challenge, they've started to look for the secondary school which has hostel for the girls. There they find the Doma Secondary School. So after joining this Doma Secondary School and the hostel, there's a lot of success which I've got. My performance has raised. Before I had no good performance. My parents were not assured of my studies, but now I can study well, and my performance has raised, and my parents are happy, and they are assuring my dreams I will reach my dreams. There's a lot of challenges at the school due to the high demand of the girls who are in need of the hostel. Now, before we are having one bed, one girl, but now we can share 2 girls in one bed. So I'm encouraging the government, also the organization like SAWA, if there's a possibility, they can build enough hostel for us, and to add the dining hall, because now we don't have a dining hall where we can eat food while we are in hostel. So I'm thankful to SAWA for what they have been doing to us, and may God bless you.
Kwa majina naitwa Magdalena Musa Lembasi.
My name is Magdalena Musa Lembasi. I'm from Masai community at Mkata village. Before joining the hostel at home, before joining this hostel, I was learning day before the construction of the hostel. I was coming from home to school, and after leaving the school, I go home. I do domestic work like cooking, washing, and I had not enough time to read. My performance were not good, and the challenge, I get tired to read myself. But after the construction of the hostel in 2018, I got a chance to join the hostel. Now I'm in a third position in my class. Before, I had not enough time to study, and my performance was not good. But now, after joining the hostel, I can have enough time to study, and my position in class now I'm in third position. Also, in our school there was no water, but CHILDFUND Korea and SAWA has brought us a water facility, whereby before we have to go to fetch water from far, and when we come to school to enter the class, our brain is already tired. There was no good infrastructure, and after the construction of hostel and the borehole and the renovation of the classroom, and now we have enough time, and we enjoy the environment, and the capacity of my performance has increased. Also, in the dormitory, the capacity of the dormitory has to take few girls, but now the demand is high. We're asking if there is a possibility to add another dormitory, because the demand is high. We need also a boys' hostel, and because it will bring education. And also I'm asking the SAWA and the CHILDFUND Korea to bring the education to areas where there's no education, because education is the key of life. Before joining the hostel, I have not the courage to talk to my parents. But now, after joining the hostel, I have the courage to. I also I can communicate with different people from different community, and now I have the courage to talk to my parents. We can discuss if I have any problem, and we can solve it. Also, in the Maasai community, children are not allowed to continue with their further studies, and it is only to get married. But now I have enough courage to educate other Maasai community, other Maasai parents, so that they can bring their children to school. Especially, I teach them. I can teach them in child protection issues. So I'm grateful to SAWA and the CHILDFUND Korea, whereby they have given me the chance to increase my performance.
And another component that we have been supporting in terms of child protection is the training of children at Doma Primary School and Doma Secondary School, in terms of their rights and types of child abuse that they're likely to be exposed. And we thought that this was a critical training because we wanted to increase awareness of child protection issues to the children. And this has actually been very successful. We have managed to form child protection clubs in the school, and we also did some interventions to out-of-school children as well. And this was purposely to ensure that both in and out of school children were aware of issues of child abuse. And increasing their awareness, we wanted to make sure that they were able to report issues of child abuse as soon as they happen. So under this sector, we must say that actually it has been very successful because the number of child abuse issues that are being reported by children themselves has actually increased significantly. And both the child protection club in the school has been working closely with the child protection club of out-of-school children, and together they have been able to address issues of child abuse within the school and within the communities, surrounding communities in the villages.
My name is Ayub Ali Shaban. I'm 18 years old. I'm in Form 4 at Doma Secondary School. I am the one who have benefited the Sauti Yangu project, which has been started since 2018. This project has helped us to know our rights, especially when we are in school and in the community. In the school, we have the benefit we have get is that after the training, before the training, there was no children. They didn't know their rights. We didn't know how to express our interest, our needs to our teachers. But after the training, the teachers also have benefited, and now the teachers have increased the awareness of child rights, and they have helped us to make a school baraza where the children can discuss their problem, and they can discuss with the teachers and how to solve them. In the community, the community didn't know the importance of child rights. Before there was no specific child rights child rights forum. But now, after the training, to build another hostel for boys, and we are thankful to the headmaster who has provided his house to help boys staying in the hostel for the time being. So we are asking for the help to add another hostel, because even the one which is there, the space is not enough. There's a high demand of girls hostel. My name is Happiness Charles Francis. I'm in Form 4 at Doma Secondary. The child right, the Sauti Yangu project has helped us to know our rights and child protection and the child abuse cases and many more. We have been trained about child abuse and child rights and the linkage to report if there is any cases concerning the children. After the training, we have got the time to go to teach also the child rights issues to nearby schools and also the community. We've got the opportunity to go and train to women's group in the community about how they can treat well and protect their children. And if there's any abuse cases, example insult and the beating the children, they know how to report and where to report and the procedures to take in to report those cases. And also, as we see in Doma, we have a girls' hostel. We are asking also SAWA to know that even boys, girls, the boys who are under 18 are also children. We know SAWA they treat all children rightly. So we are asking them to help us to build another hostel for boys, and we are thankful to the headmaster who has provided his house to help boys staying in the hostel for the time being. So we are asking for the help to add another hostel, because even the one which is there, also, the space is not enough. There's a high demand of.
Another sector that we have worked, SAWA Wanawake has worked on, is the village community banking. Under this sector, we actually work to ensure that we organize the women so that they could be in groups, and train them on banking operations. So they've under this program, they've set up their groups, and we have almost 18 groups, women groups, that have been established under this program, and most of them are going very well, because each group has got 30 members. So we are proud to say that we've reached almost 360 women in these groups who have been supported in terms of entrepreneurship skills, different life skills like sewing, making soap for sale, soap solution for sale, and supporting their other businesses as well, individual businesses as well. And actually, the women have confirmed that the income their income has increased constantly, has increased substantially, and they have been able to support their children now in terms of scholastic materials, supporting their children's health cost, and so forth. So this is for us, it's a big achievement. And actually, when they started the groups, they used to contribute their own shares. But as time went on, SAWA Wanawake Tanzania had to intervene by giving them what we call revolving fund, and almost each group got 5 million shillings as a revolving fund, and this improved the loaning capacity of the groups, and in which women were able to go and get some loan to improve their businesses, to pay out the cost for their children. But at the end of the day, they usually return the money to the group with small interest. And actually, the progress is really very, very, very impressive.
Naitwa Christina Gaudensi.
My name is Christina Gaudensi. I'm from Umoja Women Group at Msongozi Village. The group which has been registered under SAWA, under the supervision of SAWA. After joining this group, I have got a lot of success. I have this project of pig, which 3 pigs, which with the 4 piglets, and the project of chicken, which now I have 25 chickens, and also the group has helped me to buy farm where I cultivate beans, and I have been able to send my children to school. I can help them with scholastic material. I can support them with the needs they want. Even if they get sick, I can take them to the hospital with no problem. I'm thankful to SAWA for helping us to have this group, which can help us to manage and continuously support with family needs.
Kwa jina naitwa Fatuma Hatibu Ngeleko.
My name is Fatuma
Mkazi wa kijiji hiki cha
Hatibu
Matale.
Ngeleko. I'm from Matale village. I'm in at Tunalea group, women group, which is under supervision of SAWA. After joining the group, I have a lot of success. After getting the loan, I have been able to rent a farm, to buy a farm where I cultivate millet and sesame. I have also managed to reserve another farm for the excess crops. I have managed after joining the Vikoba group, I have managed to send my children to school and with their basic needs and scholastic material. And also I managed to engage workers at my farm where they so as to cultivate many crops. And at home I have managed to have enough meal. Now I can, before we have to eat once per day, but now we can eat 3 times per day. I'm thankful to SAWA and the CHILDFUND Korea, which have helped us to manage to carry out our responsibilities and support our families with basic needs and all the necessary needs for the income generating activity.
Mimi naitwa kwa jina ni John Daniel Seuta.
My name is John Daniel Seuta. I'm from Matale village at Tunalea women group. I'm retired teacher by profession. After joining this group, I managed to renovate my milling machine, and now I can manage to buy diesel for running the machine, and also I can manage to buy reserved spare for repairing the machine when it gets damaged. Also, I benefited also to manage to send my wife to clinical treatment because before I couldn't manage to do so. Now, by the support from Vikoba, I can manage to support her for the clinical treatment for the time needed. And also, I use my knowledge as a retired teacher to train my fellow group member in the group on how to borrow and return for profit. Now we have shares, different shares, education share, health share, and our group share. Now our group is strong, and we can manage to supervise, and now we can manage to supervise and manage to strengthen the weekly meeting for the shares. We are thankful to SAWA and the CHILDFUND Korea for the support. My name is Rehema Mwenda. I'm from Ndama village, from Namnyaki women group. After joining the Vikoba, I've managed to have my 10. Now I have 10 chicken and 10 sheep. Since joining this group, my life has changed due to the support from SAWA and CHILDFUND Korea. My name is Rehema Hassan John. I'm from Tunalea group, Matale village. After joining Vikoba, I've managed to buy my own irrigation machine and the maize packing machine. After borrowing money from the group, now my income has increased because I can rent the irrigation machine during summertime, and also, after the harvest of maize, I can also rent the maize packing machine to the need. So from now, I have no problem of money. I can gain money anytime, during summertime and then during harvest, during cultivation season, I can use the irrigation machine. I'm thankful to SAWA for the support and the CHILDFUND Korea for the funds.
And the third component now is the child protection component. And this component, I should say, is cross-cutting. We treat this as a cross-cutting issue because we thought that children cannot attend school comfortably if they are not well protected. Like in many areas that we work, children are facing a lot of challenges like threat of wild animals, like Songozi and Mtipule. Children cannot, especially the young ones, cannot go to school because of the threat of elephants. In the previous years, several children were confirmed to have lost their lives because of the attack by elephants. So issue of child protection has been taken as a critical issue. And we have actually, one of the reasons that why we decided to provide ECD centers is because we wanted to rescue the children from the threat of elephants and so forth. But in addition to this, we have managed to improve the child protection systems in the community, in their respective communities. Where the government of Tanzania has what we call a National Plan of Action to End Violence Against Women and Children, NPAVAC. Under this program, the government has analyzed clearly how community structures should be set up and what should be their roles in terms of child protection. So when we started this program, we had to make sure that we comply with the government guidelines to ensure that whatever we do under child protection is not contrary to what the government was doing. So we have trained women and children protection committees, which were established under the NPAVAC, and and link them with the police gender desks, which is also a government instrument that works with child protection. And this has been really successful because originally people could not come and reveal issues of child protection because first of all they were not aware of their awareness was very low in terms of child protection, but also they didn't know how they should go about reporting issues of child abuse. So having trained these committees at village level, ward level, and district level, actually the efficiency has increased significantly because we can prove this through the number of cases that are being reported for the time being. In strengthening this area, we have also built one-stop center at Matale, at Mvomero District Council, which is an office that works to ensure that once a child is abused, the whole process is completed under one roof, and this is the center that we provided at Mvomero, in which we have a social welfare officer in the office, we have a legal person in the office, we have a police officer in the office, and also we have a counselor in the office. So when the child is abused, he goes to the center and he gets all the services, and within a short time, if it is a case to go to the court, then the whole process is completed within a very short time, and this has really been very useful. We really thank CHILDFUND Korea for the support of this program, because I should acknowledge that this program is going to bring a lot of impact in the communities of Mvomero, as people's perspective in terms of child protection issues has changed. Harmful cultural norms that were oppressing children are now being waived, and at the end of the program, of this program, I think we're going to have a big impact to the area.
Naitwa Peris Lumambo.
My name is Peris Lumambo.
Katika wilaya ya Mvomero.
I'm social welfare at Mvomero district. I work at this one-stop center built by SAWA, Wanawake Tanzania, and CHILDFUND Korea. I'm thankful for SAWA, Wanawake Tanzania, for building us this one-stop center, which is the first, which is the new model and the first one built in Tanzania. Before the building of this one-stop center, we were working in a difficult environment at the hospital, whereby it was difficult to solve the cases brought by the children from their community. Dealing with child abuse cases and solving their cases is the issues which has to be very secret in a private area, in a friendly way. So we were finding the difficulty to work at the hospital. But after SAWA and CHILDFUND Korea seeing these challenges, they have decided to build this one-stop center here, whereby right now it is easier to receive any child abuse cases and solve them in a best way, in a better way. It has been easy to receive cases from different communities at Mvomero district, and now we have one social welfare office, we have doctor's office, and the psychological specialist are in place. When the child cases arrive, we solve them at once under one building at a time. We are thankful to SAWA for bringing us this new model. And also another success for this one-stop center is that the government of Tanzania has seen it has taken it as a new model, and they have taken it as a model which will be used for the whole Tanzania, for the whole country, whereby if any organization or any sector want to build a one-stop center, has to come at Morogoro and take it as a model to build as it is. One of the example is Shinyanga Municipal wanted to build a one-stop center, so they has to come. They've come to take a model from Mvomero district, so then they can go and build the same as one-stop center built by SAWA. From those success, we have one challenge at this one-stop center, whereby we don't have a police allocated in this one-stop center to solve the cases. So we are call upon the government to help us to settle this problem allocate us a policy, so a police gender desk, so that he can deal with he can receive cases and solve them at once. Another challenge is that Mvomero, this one-stop center is located at Mvomero Municipal Office, Mvomero District Office. It is difficult geographically as it is difficult for people from north to go to the south where we are located to bring the cases. So we are asking the government if there is any possibility to have another one-stop center at the Morogoro Municipal, so that it can help those people from northern part of Mvomero to solve their cases when they arrive in town before going to the Mvomero district.
Kwa jina ninaitwa Emi Huseni.
My name is Emi Msemi. I'm a social welfare officer at Mvomero district. I'm thankful to SAWA, Wanawake Tanzania, and the CHILDFUND Korea for helping us in dealing with the child protection and women and child protection issues. I'm under the Department of Child Abuse, Women and Child Abuse cases. So in our district, we have 91 villages and 25 wards. But through under SAWA, we have been able to, according to their project, we've been able to solve to deal with the 3 wards and 5 villages. So there's a gap. There's a big need. There's a lot of needs. Villages and wards remaining, which has no opportunity of being trained about child protection issues. So through SAWA, we have been able, under those 3 through SAWA, under those 3 wards and 5 villages, we have been able to eradicate women and child abuse issues. And for example, they have been able to build the hostel at Doma for girls' protection, and there's a decrease of early pregnancy. So for this, I'm thankful to SAWA, because the community, at least, they have been able to know their rights, the rights of the child, and they can protect women and children against any abuse.